1, 2, 3, and... Welcome to the Tiny House Talk Show. I'm Damon.
And I'm Natalie.
And today we're diving into how you can spot and avoid scams in the tiny house community. As the popularity of tiny houses grows, so does the interest of scammers looking to exploit enthusiastic buyers. And we're going to cover some common tactics used by scammers today and how to protect yourself from falling victim to these schemes.
Before we get started, though, our analytics show that 94% of you are brand new, first time tuning in. Congratulations. Welcome.
Welcome.
And 88% of you are not subscribed yet. So,
boo.
Please do so at your earliest convenience. It helps us greatly.
Subscribing helps us to continue bringing this crucial information directly to you, aiding in building a safer and more informed tiny house community. Also, engaging with our content by subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing with your friends, your family members, or someone you know who might be in the tiny house industry or wanting to get into the tiny house movement in some way. Please share some of our content. It really helps us grow. So let's get started. We'll break this up into like 4 segments. Our first segment, I say, why scams target the tiny house movement. Why don't you talk about that for just a little bit, Natalie?
The tiny house movement has exploded in popularity, which has also brought lots of opportunity for scams.
Yeah.
And really unfortunate incidences for some people, and that seems to be growing, unfortunately. As more people are showing more interest in the minimalist lifestyle, that's just more opportunity for bad things.
Scammers target those who are new and perhaps aren't fully aware of what the building and buying process should entail. So we're here to help you fill in some of those blanks. Like, for example, builders who seem more interested in turning a quick buck than into building quality homes for you. That's not the first time we've seen something like that. We've come across that once or twice in our years in business. They set up projects that never get finished. Dare I say, almost like a Ponzi scheme, really. These scammers typically collect deposits from multiple customers in order to kind of catch back up potentially or build projects they're behind on. But eventually time and math kind of catches up with them and people end up with no home and no deposit. And the companies tend to disappear once they end up in that space, right?
Segment 2, top 4 signs of a tiny house scam. The first one would be unbelievably low prices. If a price seems too good to be true, it probably is. And you've heard us say that before, but we'll just keep saying it. If the price seems too good to be true, it probably is. A lot of times builders might offer, half. If the scammer, they're going to offer half of what the market would say, or a builder that's on the up and up.
And sometimes that doesn't even cover the cost of building materials and labor to put the thing together, does it?
Correct. So true.
So eventually, time and math catches up with those types of practices.
Don't get lured in to below market prices or the lowest of the prices. And really, it's your home. I understand all about saving money. But do you want to pay the lowest dollar for your home? So again, if it sounds too good to be true,
it probably is.
You probably don't want to be on that train.
And it's a good idea to get a lot of different quotes. Be honest and realistic about what you want to build so that when you are comparing those quotes, you're comparing apples to apples, right? So for those of you out there who are shopping around for a builder and maybe you found a handful of them that you like their style, like the way they communicate, they've been around a while, they've been vetted, this is a good opportunity for you to collect quotes and prices from them and see which one best suits you and your needs and your project. Right?
You also want to check for proper licensing and reviews. So you want to make sure that builder, you can find them maybe in good standing on Secretary of State's website. It's a great place to check for businesses. Check with NOAA or PacWest. You can call them and ask them, or NTA, and ask them about builders. Obviously, you want to hear word of mouth. Ask other people who have purchased or built a tiny home.
Ask us.
Call us. Ask us.
We know a few people. Yeah, we've been in this a while, so we have a pretty good Rolodex For those of you who were born in the 1900s, like Natalie and I, and know what a Rolodex is, ours is pretty full of builders and contacts. So please reach out. If we know them, we'll vet them. And if we know something that's not quite kosher, we'll sure give you the warning. Next thing is, I would say, avoid high-pressure sales tactics. And that's sort of a fine line, because that can be a bit objective, right, to the person that you're talking with. I have a big personality, and I can come off a bit salesy, and I'm okay with that, because I kind of gather pretty quick if I need to tone it down or turn it up to match somebody's enthusiasm. I don't want to be over the top all the time. But the whole act now before supplies run out, or hey, if you pay for the whole thing up front, I'll go ahead and build it now, even though I've got a 6 or 8 or 12 month backlog. But if you pay for the whole thing right now, I'll get it done in 2 weeks. We've seen that used with great success, unfortunately, in the Denver metro area. We don't mention names in this case, where I know there's pending litigation, so we'll refrain from name dropping or anything. But it's not hard to find some of these that forced us to make this podcast today have made national news, not just local news. We've seen millions stolen from people now, and it's a shame. So when you see people kind of pressuring you to either, like Natalie mentioned earlier, if the price is too low to be good, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Building and buying a house for $10,000 or $15,000 to live in, we've been admonished for saying that's not very likely. Before some of those companies have come out of the woodwork when we've made statements like that it's hard to build a $10,000 or $15,000 or a $20,000 tiny house. I should have probably prefaced that with for a sustainable amount of time, you might be able to build 1 or 2 or 3 or a handful like that to kind of keep the ball rolling for a while. But eventually time and math catches up with you. And when it does, it starts showing up in your business reviews on, say, Google or Facebook, or there are Facebook groups that might be formed for people who X company has been, has scammed me. So you join that group. They're not hard to find. And if you want to contact us off air, we can get you some of those resources. And power is knowledge, and knowledge is power. We have some work to do, because we keep reading stories about people who are, out racing cars and living a lavish lifestyle while stealing people's money. I'm stunned that those of you who are out there doing it, and you know who you are, because we know who you are. We've done business with a number of these companies in the past where, maybe they started out with all things and good intentions, but things jump off the rails pretty quick if you're mismanaging money, don't they?
Yeah, very. Yeah.
So anyway, I digress. I got a little sidetracked in that moment, because high pressure sales tactics lead to people being ripped off. And while we are thorough, we sell, we contact you, we follow up with you. We want to make sure that you guys have every opportunity to interact with us. We are not going to, and please tell us if we ever make a client feel uncomfortable by asking for the business or asking for a deposit. Hey, it sounds like we've answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, what's keeping you from going ahead and getting in the building queue today, so we can get a deposit on the books and put you next in line? And that's how it should work. The next and last part of that, vague contracts and payment terms. Why don't you kind of speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah. So with this type of transaction, you most likely will have some sort of contract with that builder if they're building the entire unit. And granted, this is something that, our company has evolved and has kind of taken on of this last year. So that's a part of a process that we know we are still working on.
Our contract's an evolution. We've been building homes now for almost 2 years. That's what's crazy. It's I'm
talking about this past year. It's been longer than that.
The whole thing turnkey done a month. It'll be 2 years. I know, it's crazy. So time flies when you're having fun or getting dragged behind a bus. Not sure which to call this from day to day, but today it's fun because we're smiling and we're laughing about it. But that's the contract is a big evolution.
The contract is a big evolution thing, and every builder is going to do that a little bit differently. But you do want to make sure that all of the details are in there, that anything that you want in writing, make sure it is in writing. Make sure you're comfortable with all of the language. If you have a lawyer or you have a good friend who knows lawyerese, have someone look that over. That's highly recommended, just to make sure that you're not blindsided by something in there, some loophole or some strange wording, and you think you understand it. I would read something and think I understand it, and then it could just totally not end up going well for me. So just have somebody double check that if you do have a contract, and make sure in there is everything that you want to be in there.
And it's okay to ask it to be put in there too. A builder, somebody that's on the level, that's on the up and up, is going to be happy to put stuff in writing for you if you ask for it.
Yeah.
So ask for it in writing and get signatures on it, and initials and addendums, and make the contract protect you. Because if not, you can count on the builder to have already done that to protect themselves. So if everybody's protected equally, that keeps everybody honest, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Segment 3, how to stay safe. You want to make sure you start by doing thorough research. And we know when we meet you guys at tiny house festivals, or when you guys do come to the shop, or when you call us on the phone, we talk to you, we interact, we don't know where we're meeting you at on your timeline. Sometimes people are right at the beginning of their research. Sometimes people are 2-3 years in. So that research is really important. And I don't think I've ever spoken with someone in the tiny house world that hasn't done research. So please make sure you are thorough with that, and that you contact other people, like I said, who have either built their own tiny home or have had it built. Ask their experiences, ask for some testimonials from people, ask for testimonials for different builders that you're looking at. See if they will give you references of other customers that have used them. They should. We certainly would do that and have done that. Ask other people, ask other customers, making sure you check out the reviews of builders. Hopefully they have some.
Reviews are important. Don't let, the occasional flyer dissuade you. Some people are just not happy unless they're not happy. So make sure that you're reading that through an objective filter. Maybe take a few of the best reviews and a couple of the worst reviews, and find a sort of a median average to make sure that you have a good, clear snapshot of what clients think before, during, and after the sale or the project, and that, seen all the way through by that builder.
And go visit. If you can, go visit them. If you have that in your budget, if they're close, going and seeing and visiting in person, that is tremendously helpful. And we love it when people come to our shop and visit us.
Yeah, we do.
And see us. It's a huge deal to us when people
we're
come
so
to
far,
the shop.
Yeah, we are so far out of most people's way to come see us.
No one comes to Olathe.
That's not true. That's not true. We had 2 visitors last week.
That's true.
One flew in from California, and another one drove in from Mark. You know who we are. And the father and son that drove up from Colorado Springs. Their name escapes me right now. I'm so sorry, but it was a pleasure to meet you guys and have you there to ask some questions. He's getting ready to go deploy.
Scott and Alan.
Thank you. Yes. Well done.
I hope that's right.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm going to lean into it and just go, yeah, that was that. Yeah.
It feels right.
Feels right. We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Scott and Alan.
Okay. But if you can, go visit. We highly recommend it.
One of the things, it might not, and I'm going to pitch us, I guess, a little bit, because we're in a beautiful part of Colorado, the Western Slope. If you don't know where that is, we're a stone's throw from Telluride National Monument. Black Canyon of the Gunnison's literally in our backyard. So it's a great place to come spend a weekend if you're traveling alone, or with somebody. If you and your partner want to come out and see us, we're thrilled to have guests. And it's important because sometimes the details aren't really conveyed super well by phone or by email or even by video chat. And to come in and touch it and shake the hands that build the stuff, that makes a difference. And not just with us, but with all of our build clients as well, the people that we work with to build their homes. Seeing a project in progress is, to me, one of those things that provides transparency. And, on our YouTube channel, it's not the sexiest, most glamorous channel there is, but the people that I'm trying to reach with our message and our information and our knowledge and our skills are the people that I'm after. And they're the ones that are responding, people who's I've been building for 40, 50 years, and I came to see you guys at your shop, and I walked through there and I was blown away when I left there. And you guys really have an attention to detail that's just, lost in the modern era, today's world of get it done quick and get it over with, get it out the door and get on with the next one. So for those people, we thank you. I thank you for all of your kind words when you come visit, and we do share that with our team. Our guys and girls take a lot of pride in what they do, and it means a lot when somebody that's in the trades, in particular, comes to us and gives us a thumbs up or an attaboy, and we're honored. So thank you for that. With I guess the last part of this how to stay safe would be financing. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, how the world turns. Just a handful of years ago, we went through a scam with a finance company that showed up on the block. I won't say any names, but it rhymes with Wawala, Remanchel. And if you think like a cute little fuzzy animal from down under, that was the name of this outfit that showed up and promised everybody, subprime interest rates. And let me restate that. When I say prime, I mean prime interest rate on the stock market at that time, which, at or near zero for the handful of years through quantitative easing. And finance is something that I speak about from time to time. And it's most important to know that you're not going to take a higher risk item like a mobile vehicle similar to an RV and be able to offer somebody less than what a bank can buy money to re-lend it out for. If they're buying it at 5, they're going to loan it at 6, 7, 8. That's how mortgages work. It doesn't work the other way where, I just love tiny houses and I'm a billionaire, so I'm just going to open up my pockets to the industry at 2, 3, 4, 5% interest for something that has no regulation and no oversight and no resale market, therefore no true valuation. So without those things in place, ladies and gentlemen, financing is either done through hard money lending, like somebody with lots of money, and they're going to ask a pretty high amount of interest back for that, and also banks in the form of RVs and some other stuff like that. So it's important to know the difference between what's a legitimate financing operation. You can walk up to them, you can drive through them. They have ATMs attached to the inside or outside of the building in most cases. And there are RV financing companies out there like Lightstream and Century and a couple others that we've worked with, and we know some of our clients have too. So buyer beware as well as borrower beware. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking through our notes of things that we wanted to talk about, and it's hard to get it all stuffed in and not put you guys to sleep too, and also not make me sound like a broken record on a lot of these things. Let's do segment 4.
Segment 4.
I'll take us home this time.
You take us home,
and then you give us the conclusion.
I'll wrap us up.
You wrap us up. All right, and finally, segment 4: listener questions and experiences. If you have had a tiny house near miss with a scammer or a Ponzi schemer, or have had some really shoddy work and then the builder disappeared into the night, whatever, please, please, please leave us a comment below. You don't have to give us details, names, numbers, or any of that stuff. You can certainly put yourself out there as a case study of what to avoid, and maybe in a sort of alleged way, some way that doesn't get us or you in any trouble. You can, drop hints of who that builder or that particular experience might have been if you personally have experienced that. And you can speak to your experience if you are that person. That is not a legal landmine or anything like that. You have this platform to help maybe protect other people from what you experienced, and we welcome that as much as we're sorry that it happened to you.
Yeah.
And really, you can put the red flags up in front of those things and help others avoid those pitfalls, and hopefully not get scammed too. I mean, golly, we've seen it all over.
We have seen it. I mean, like, if a builder says, hey, I just sold this piece of equipment. Now I can do some more work on your project.
Get back to work on your house.
Like, that's kind of a red flag.
Sorry, I've been out of touch for 6 months, but hey, I'm back. I sold some stuff at the pawn shop, and now I can finish buying your windows.
So,
that's a huge red flag, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please be aware of that stuff.
So share your red flags, share your experiences, let others know, because that will just keep everyone safe, and you might just save somebody from having a terrible experience. And sadly, we've seen way more than we ever thought we would, and definitely way more than we ever wanted to see. And to be affiliated, with some of these, with our trailers, has been really, really saddening.
Absolutely.
As well.
I was going to say that just while you were talking, I was kind of doing a little roll call in my head. I'm thinking of 7 different companies, 2 in Colorado, 3 in Colorado, 2 in Utah, 1 in California,
3 in Utah,
1 in California so far, and just those handful, that the half a dozen or so that popped into my head, the names. I know of at least $12.5 million worth of people's money that are never going to be turned into tiny homes.
That's awful.
It is. It's terrible for the client. It's abhorrent for the industry. For those of us and our colleagues that build tiny homes, like for real, and deliver them to their customers. It's $12.5 million of business that not only are those clients going to be able to reap their investment back on, but we're never going to be able to put on our books. We can't grow our industry by having that revenue as well.
Right.
We don't get to do a good job for somebody. Rocky Mountain Tiny Homes, Greg, he and Stephanie don't get that business. They don't build somebody a great house because of that.
Right.
That's shameful, and shame on you. I don't have anything else to say about you except you're scammers, and you deserve what you get. Accept these people's money. You didn't deserve their business because you didn't handle it right.
Yeah. So share with us your experiences. Whew.
Shake that off.
Whew. Yeah. Dust that off.
Sorry, I got my hairs all up in the back of my neck there.
Well, I think we're ready to wrap it up with our conclusion. So stay informed, do your research, check with others. There's plenty of groups online that you can check in, ask other people.
Call us. Our telephone number, we'll give it to you right now. It's 303-990-9497. Call the main office, ask to speak to one of us. If we're not available, ask to speak to anybody that answers the phone. We're all tiny house people. We can all answer these questions.
We are all here to help.
That's right. So if you found today's episode helpful, please give us a thumbs up. We need that. We are marching to 1,000 as we're shooting this, so we're almost there.
Like
996. We've been threatening to do something fun if you're the 1,000th subscriber, but I don't know how we can really track that. We're not very good at this yet, so
we're definitely not good at tracking it.
No, good grief, no. Maybe once we get to 10,000, we'll do something cool and fun, and we'll work it out that way.
There we go.
Okay,
it's a goal.
All right,
goals.
Tune in next time for more insights in the tiny house lifestyle. This has been the Tiny House Talk Show with your host Damon
and Natalie.
And we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of all of us at Trailer Made Custom Trailers and the Tiny House Experts, thank you again from the bottom of our heart.
Until next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
And... Cut. I think he can edit that up.